Good evening. Today I will be talking about the Christopher Watts murder case, and this is going to be my case summary. The murder was Christopher Watts. He murdered his family, Shannon, Celeste, and Bella. Shannon and Christopher were married for close to 6 years. The couple of months prior to the murder, he did get into an affair with another woman, Nicole Kessinger, as you can see in the picture below. Nicole was a co-worker of Christopher's at Anadarko Petroleum Corporation. After murdering his wife, he buried her on the work property, as seen in that picture. Daughters were smothered at the work site and then were thrown into the oil tanks. Bella did witness her mother and sister get killed, and before Christopher Watts focused her attention on her, he did plead for her not to get killed. The big thing is that this story did catch a lot of media attention, and Christopher Watts did plead for his family to return to the media the day after they were reported missing. He was arrested 2 days later on the 15th, admitting to investigators that he did murder his family. And a day later is when they discovered the bodies of the family, as he admitted to the investigators of where he buried the bodies or where he put the bodies. This was an interesting case, as this did get approval to be a Netflix documentary by the deceased family. So, and you can find it on Netflix, American Murder: The Family Next Door. The criminal statute violations that were violated in CalCrim is Penal Code 189, but in the Colorado State Penal Code, it is CR 718-3-102, Section 1. He got charged with 3 counts of murder as he killed 3 individuals. He got 2 additional first-degree charges for killing his 2 daughters because they were both under the age of 12, along with Christopher Watts being in a position of trust as he was a guardian, so he was responsible for the children. So that's why he got those 2 additional first-degree charges. An additional charge was Colorado State Penal Code 18-3.5-101, and this was the all-lawful termination of a pregnancy, as Shannon was expecting a newborn very soon, and they were going to name him Nico. So by killing Shannon, he got that charge stacked on as well. And an additional charge was the tampering with a body, and he received 3 counts of this charge as he did bury his wife, Shannon, and then he did put both Bella and Celeste into those oil tanks. The modus operandi, as mentioned earlier, he was having an affair with a coworker. It was possible that he did want to start a new life with her and just move on completely from this family. But there is a possibility that he got angry when he mentioned the fact of separation to his wife. And it could possibly be that she might have not wanted him to see the children anymore, and that could have angered him, causing him to strangle Shannon and then murder her. The big question is why did Christopher Watts originally play the part to the media? And it's a big question that still needs to be answered in terms of why he pleaded for them to return home, even though he knew from the start where they were, because he was the one that murdered them. Another question would be what his reason was to stay after committing the murder. Why didn't he just go start a new life somewhere else? But he decided to stick it out in Colorado, just playing the part that he didn't know where they were. And after being arrested, what was his reasoning to reveal that he murdered his family after 2 days passed? What in those 2 days changed his mind in terms of the whole situation? And the public awareness of the situation is that these actions not go unpunished. This man committed a murder of his whole entire family to possibly start a new life. Was sentenced to multiple life sentences with no possibility of parole. There's no going back in this time and trying to change the past. He did commit the acts, so he has to do the crime. He has to do the time, and that's how you hear the phrase, can't do the time, don't do the crime. And in Colorado, it is the minimum of life sentence for any first-degree murder charge. And then the big thing is being able to make your local authorities aware of situations like this, or even information. If you know information about a murder or any crime that has been committed, it's always best to inform the authorities in terms of what information you do know, as your information could possibly be the leading factor in clearing or closing a case and apprehending a suspect and holding them responsible and get them charged in a court for the criminal acts that they committed. And everyone just needs to stay vigilant. And while this is not a typical crime to occur, especially in the state of Colorado, there's no saying that this type of crime cannot happen anywhere else. Thank you, and these are my references.